Okay, it is preparing to live stream. And this is the part where always like it will start and I don't know it started. So
Yeah.
okay, I
It,
think we're live. I think we are.
yes, we are.
Well, I want to thank you all for tuning in and joining us during this live here. I'm here with Jon Rogers from Video Power Marketing. Okay, it is preparing to live stream. And this is the okay. Now I muted us. So Jon and I have known each other for years. Jon actually gets the credit of when I was very first coming up with my concept for Amy Walker Consulting, and I was freaking out massively. We were sitting at a business event across from a table, and I literally sat there with a notepad and wrote down everything I knew how to do and was like, all right, is there any way to turn this into a business? And he was like, yeah. And we talked it through. So I consider you one of like the initial influencers in Amy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we've known each other for years, and now Jon is helping me with my video marketing. If you've noticed that my videos have gotten a little bit better in the last bit, him and his team have been awesome. So we wanted to share with you, because video marketing is such a powerful tool for your business. We wanted to talk a little bit about, video marketing in general, specifics around ads and YouTube ads and Facebook ads with your video, and then even some specific tips for what's going on right now as we head into the election. So, Jon, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It's always so fun talking to you.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's talk about video marketing. What are some things that you feel like people should understand as they step into doing video to grow their business?
Well, there's a lot of things. So the first thing that I would say is content is a commodity now. And what I mean by that is anything that people want to know, they can learn it for free. They just have to go and find the right place where they can get it. And so if you think my content is going to be so great that I'm just going to be able to sell my content, the truth is people really aren't looking to buy content. What they're looking to buy is a community. They're looking to buy an experience. They're looking to buy a relationship, but they're not looking to buy the content itself. They're looking to buy structure as well. So the way that you structure your content is super important, but the content itself is such a commodity just because anything we want to know right now, we can learn for free if we're willing to put in the hard work. So when you're building your content could be amazing, and it's important that you always create amazing content, but it has to be tied to those other things that people are looking for and willing to purchase, whether it's the community, the experience, the structure, the accountability. Those types of things people are paying for because they can't get them anywhere else, or they can't get them from you. And what they like is you and the way that you present the content. So it's really interesting because personal branding is one of those things that's more important than ever before. Building structures and systems that that have linearity of thought is more important than ever before. I see a lot of people that have great content, but you can't understand how they got from point A to point B, and so their content never really catches on. So I think that's one of the first important things. The second thing with video marketing that's really important.
We add two things to that list. I think the
Yeah.
other thing they're looking for that they're willing to pay for is getting there faster, and for being able to have processes. So, and I totally agree with you, because I was just talking to somebody yesterday who had this idea to sell yoga videos. And when I first heard it, I was like, uh-oh, do you know how many free yoga videos there are online? But as we started talking more, that is what she's wanting to do, is she's wanting to build the community, the sense of belonging, the sense of accountability, the sense of, being a part of something. So it's not just watching at home, but that was my first thought. Is I was like, oh no, you can totally learn that for free online.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a really good differentiator, that you have to, and the other thing is, I won't buy somebody's process or system without sampling their content. So if you feel like the content is what you're selling and you're protecting it too closely, like, well, I don't want to put that out online. I don't want to give that away for free. You have to change the thinking around that, because that's like would have worked 10 years ago, but it doesn't work today.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. The second piece that I was going to go into is that you have to understand your medium. So Facebook is very different than YouTube, is very different than LinkedIn, is very different than Instagram. And I consistently see people not understanding their medium and the type of videos that they're creating. So a good example of this is kind of the distinction between Facebook and YouTube. So Facebook is a direct response machine. When I go onto Facebook, I'm looking to take action, whether it's to like comments, whether it's to reply to comments, and even to the extent of ads, I'm there and I've been trained to click on things. So if there's an ad I like, I click on that ad. By contrast, YouTube is a content machine. When I go on YouTube, I'm looking for education, I'm looking for information, I'm looking for entertainment. I'm not necessarily trained on YouTube to take a direct response. And so a lot of times I'll see people putting direct response ads on YouTube, and I'm like, this is a great ad for Facebook, but not a great ad for YouTube. And similarly on Facebook, I see a lot of educational ads where I'm like, this is a great ad for YouTube, but I don't think you're going to get quite the response rate on Facebook that you would on YouTube from something like that.
That's really good to know. How would you characterize Instagram's platform, and how would you characterize LinkedIn?
Yeah, so that's really interesting. So LinkedIn is a community-based platform. So anything that you can use to build relationships with your ads or highlight that aspect of your product or service, that's a huge place to do it. People really love the opportunity to engage with communities and be a part of the group on LinkedIn. In terms of Instagram, it is a snippet. Man, you just have to get attention and get action so quickly that it is just, we haven't had any ads work on Instagram that are, I mean, they don't even let you post them that are longer than 120 seconds. But if we can't get it down to 60 seconds, we're not going to post it on Instagram because it's just not going to capture people's attention fast enough. So it's just, it is the elevator pitch of all marketing is Instagram. You got to get it in a swipe. You got to get it in less than 60 seconds. You have to have your message concise, and it has to, match what they're looking for. And the branding has to be on point on Instagram more than anywhere else. If you don't have great branding for Instagram, if it doesn't look good, it's not going to get the response rate that you want.
Good to know. Talk to me about let's talk a little bit about the difference between organic video and paid video advertising, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs, when they hear video marketing, they're lumping the two together, and they're expecting their organic to do what their paid should be doing, or expecting their paid to do what their organic should be doing. And they're really pretty different.
Yeah, they are so different. So when we talk about sampling content, organic is the way to go. And so when I'm trying to sell people on doing organic, I say, what's your best third date content? Because your ads are your first date content. They're the, hi, I'm Jon Rogers. I'm with Video Power Marketing. Do you want to date me? Here's kind of my resume. Here's what's great about me. Here's my hero's journey. And it's just kind of that 60 to 90 second story that you tell over and over again in kind of an elevator pitch type spiel. That's great for low hanging fruit, and it gets low hanging fruit all the time. What it is not great for is for people that need more of the relationship before they're willing to opt in. And what I see people doing with YouTube organic is just basically repurposing that same first date content over and over and over and over again. And no one opts in from that because they're like, I wanted to get to know you, and I've still just heard the same story 1,000 times. YouTube organic is that third day content where if you're doing video power marketing, if you're doing video marketing, I need to give you not the first date stuff saying, hey, we'll get you great leads and a great return on ad spend or whatever it is. I need to talk to you about the specifics about how we use keyword research, how we use placements within ads, how we use all those other tools that are so prevalent on YouTube ads, and how we're going to use those things to help you. And if you want to do it yourself, this is how I would do it if I were you. And then most people will be like, yeah, I don't want to do it myself. You sound like you know a lot more than me.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was just thinking that. I was like, and show them how to do it so that they realize they don't want to.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part. And And it is a big shift, because I feel like even maybe 5 years ago, we were still kind of doing a lot of teaser, and then, here's the teaser, and then let's take this conversation somewhere else so you can get more. And now it's like, no, you kind of have to like give them the best, and then they see that they want it, they know they want it. But what's happening that's differently is they come already knowing that they want it, because they've already spent a lot of time engaging with you and being nurtured from you. So my I don't get the majority of my sales conversations from YouTube, but the ones that I get from YouTube are the most primed and the most ready to buy, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, and it is a slow build. I mean, it takes 6 months before you'll start seeing anything, a year before it starts becoming consistent, and 2 years before you'll start seeing, a significant portion of your sales coming through there. But once it starts coming, the great thing is that it's always there. It doesn't stop. And so you're building for the long run, which is just so nice, because I feel like in today's world, we're led to make short-term decisions, and it perpetuates more short-term decisions. And there's nothing left behind. When we look behind, we're like, we got to make more short-term decisions because we didn't build any of the structure behind us to keep this growing.
Yep. Well, and YouTube is the only place where your content lives forever. So literally, people, if you've got good word research, people continue to engage with your old content, whereas that doesn't happen anywhere else. On Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, your old content is just old content. It's not showing up in anyone's feed. Nobody's finding it. They're not coming across it. It's not having a resurgence. Like, it just, you put it there, it lives for its little period of time, and then it dies. Whereas on YouTube, I still have people that connect with me and reach out from content that I did when I was first launching my channel. Although I will say, John, with your math, the 6 months, 12 months, and 2 years, that's only if you actually know what you're doing and are doing it right. Because I'll be totally, my first 6 months on YouTube was just, it was a little bit of a bust.
Yeah.
So only if
that
you're
is
actually
true.
Formula. The other thing that I always tell people when they're considering YouTube is that she is the high maintenance girlfriend of the social media world, who has her own set of rules, her own set of expectations. You play it her way or you don't play at all. And she's going to make you work for her love and affection. But when you get it, it's amazing and powerful and beautiful. So it definitely is a long-term play. And I think that you need to have a mixture in your marketing of things that you're doing that are, you're intentionally building something that 2 years from now is going to take over. But you have to have something that feeds the business right now as well.
Yeah, I agree. And it's fun because when you're doing all things right at the same time, when you're using Facebook ads the way that they're meant to be used, when you're using YouTube ads the way they're meant to be used, and when you're using organic on YouTube the way it's meant to be used, it is very, very much something that builds on itself and kind of snowballs into an amazing kind of product where people will know you from all over the place. And they will begin to know, like, and trust you. And that kind of brand effect is so powerful, even in the short term, but in the long term especially, it makes a huge difference on your brand.
Yeah. Okay, I know we're almost out of time, but we did want to talk really quickly about what you should be doing right now with your ads and your video leading up to the election, because some of you that might be running ads have noticed it's been wonky. So
yeah. So it's crazy. We've had such mixed results where one day is the best day you've ever had on running ads and the next day is the worst. It's now consistently getting to a point where most of them are the worst. So we are advising all of our clients. We're saying, hey, if you're okay with this, we're going to start pulling back your spend right now. The thing that's killing us during this election cycle is not to get into geopolitics or anything like that, but volatility is higher now than it's ever been. Because I read a stat the other day where it said 40% of Democrats and 40% of Republicans believe that if their candidate is not elected, then violence is justified. That is a very scary thought. So normally we can count on a peaceful transition of power. Normally we can count on, okay, ad spends and CPMs are going to be a little bit more expensive right now because all the political campaigns are pumping their whole entire budget into it right now, but at least we can still get results with that higher spend. We're not even seeing people take action because we just don't know what's going to happen on November 4th, 5th, 6th, or after the election. So I think with that volatility, it's especially difficult right now to get the type of results, even if you're getting the leads, even if you're getting people to opt in, getting them to take that back end action where you can actually get a return on ad spend is a lot more difficult. With that being said, you should never turn off your ads entirely, but you should restrict your budget and get ready for the potential that after the election, there's going to be about a month and a half before Christmas where ad spends will actually go back to normal, and it will be a good time to advertise again. So.
Well, and the other thing that I will add to that is, in my experience, this is a good time to focus on your phone calls. Like, I know nobody wants to make phone calls these days, but I'm telling you, people are looking for connection. They're looking for a sense of safety and security. They're looking for belief in themselves and something. They're looking for hope. And you can convey that through a phone call. So if you've got a sales team, my sales team is killing it right now. Like, they're getting appointments scheduled. People are looking for that connection. So they're kind of hungry to talk. And if you're willing to invest some time, that is still working. So there's always a place to sell. You just sometimes have to make adjustments as you go.
Yeah, and people have access to capital right now with the COVID relief bills and everything like that. A lot more people can actually access money now than ever before. It's just how do we best get to them? And I just don't think, I think organic is actually a great place because people are spending more time on YouTube and searching up videos. I just think in terms of ads, CPMs are so high that it's a little more difficult to crack that egg if you're focused solely on that right now.
Yeah, which I have to say, I really appreciate about you guys that you're not just like, hey, let me just keep taking your money and bust it out there, but you're like, we're gonna pause. So
yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I appreciate you being on, Jon. If people want to get connected with you and ask more questions, and I will say Jon is great at, answering questions and telling you, this is actually why I decided to work with them, because Jon will tell you like it is. He does not paint a fluffy, rosy picture of what it's going to be and how fast you're going to get rich. And he's very like, if this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. And you've got to be willing to go through all these phases, but here's the outcome where we can get you to. So I've always really appreciated that transparency in the process. So if anybody wants to ask more questions, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Yeah, Jon, Jon at videopower.org is the best email to reach me at. And seriously, I'm happy to answer questions at any time. And Amy knows she's sent some of her clients my way just to answer questions, and I am more than happy to do it. I think we're all in this together to beat Facebook and YouTube. I don't feel like I have any strategic knowledge that I'm not willing to share, because I just feel like you can get ripped off so bad if you're not running your ads the right way, if you're not running your marketing the right way. They will take you for a spin, and they will take you for a spin quickly. So I don't want to see that happen to anyone.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much, Jon, and thank you all for watching. Leave us a comment. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you do. And as always, come join us in our private Facebook group, Acquire. We'd love to see you over there. Thanks, everyone.